As I already explained that in the beginning, narcissism, narcissus is Greek word derived from the Greek word narcissus. And they explain like self-loving. But now, during the time span after a couple of centuries, they are trying to explain narcissist as a social trait, social behavior, linking to the social behavior. Let's say example, narcissistic personality, I found anger, erotic interest in oneself, selfish or excessive pride, self-love, exploiting oneself and others as well, and lack of empathy. These are the summary words, but I'm still not happy with myself, like, because lack of empathy, if someone has no empathy at all, it means like, let's say example, someone is begging on the street and they kick. Better they just ignore and walk, but somebody start commenting, criticizing and kicking. That's not only lack of empathy, that's illegal. And anger, everyone has anger. Anger is a social characteristic hidden in the person. And the person has a personality to manage the anger. If they can't manage, they become aggressiveness. They explore, they come outside. And I'm still not sure about narcissistic personality disorder related to the anger. If someone cannot manage the anger, there may be some, like, you know, there are lots of resources to manage the anger. Or if someone is deeply angry all the time and they just like, you know, damaging themselves, of course that is something wrong in their body, mind. That is also a disorder and it should be treated. But I'm still not happy, not satisfied that narcissistic and anger is related to each other. Erotic interest in oneself, yeah, they think lots of unnecessary things themselves, and then they don't know they are trying to damage. Self-love, exploiting oneself and others. The point comes when the people, even they look at in the mirror and they confuse whether they are themselves or not. That sounds related to the narcissistic, if it is applicable. Similarly, narcissists are worried about their own well-being. I found one, like, you know, this sentence in one literature. They are worried about oneself. Is that a bad idea? That's my questions. They worried about themselves. Of course, people need to worry about themselves, whether their well-being is perfect or not, what they are doing right or wrong thing, whether they are in right path or wrong path, what they have to do, what they need to eat, how they maintain their body, how they maintain their, you know, the social thoughts and behavior and attitudes and personality. Of course, they need to think it. So narcissists are worried about their own well-being. Is a bit like, I'm not 100% like, you know, agree with that statement found in the Mind journals. I put this one as well. So when I explain, when you listen this video, you may think, oh, this lady is defending the narcissistic. I'm not defending, but I'm trying to rectify it, whether it is true or false, whether it is like real narcissist, it is good to you, like, you know, label the person or not. Of course, this is not true. Of course, I say it is not good to, like, you know, label the person as a narcissist, because there are lots of confusion. The definition has been changed in the span of time, and it is not sure like which one is the right. Different, you know, the theorist has explained in different way. So of course, this is the reason that there will be some critics behind it, because there is no certain things, certain definition about a narcissist. And also the people will have stress, anxiety, you know, the anxiousness, exhausted. Normally people even say like, I'm so much exhausted today. People say like this, and they suffer from different kind of anxiety, general anxiety, restlessness, aggressiveness, worries, and low self-esteem. They all are related to the human well-being. And there might be loss of in the regions, we don't know. But they can be treated, they can go to the counseling, seek the advice and like, you know, the well-being, They go to therapy, they go to the doctor. There are lots of the resources about those things. But how can we say these are the narcissist? I don't know. I'm just confused to relate those human unwellness and human thoughts and behavior to the narcissist, which is not explained clearly in the literature. That's what I try to bring here. So there is one slogan: we always need an extra amount of time to think why is that happening and how to get rid of from there. So we always need a time. Of course, relaxation, rest, meditation, mindfulness, different therapies. I already explained techniques and useful tools. There are lots of things, and we can get it from there in a amount of time. After amount of time that we realize and we take a time to get from those issues. So recently, actually, I attended one workshop. And the topic was empower your client to free themselves from intimate social professional relationship with narcissist. And it was 3 hours presentation. I was very interested and listening again and again. This recorded video, I listened again and again. And what I found is narcissist is social characteristic and all the negative social characteristics, like they create the mirage themselves and they become happy themselves. They feel too much excessive pride on them, what they do, and exaggeration of everything. And they make other people doubtful on their situation. Those kind of things were summarized. Those points were summarized, which I think these are, I don't know, that could happen. But that's the social, the human thinking process, thoughts and behaviors is psychoanalysis dynamic. They talk about psychoanalysis dynamic, what exactly Sigmund Freud explained about narcissism and in his other aspect as well. But it is not related with the historical, how the term narcissism was derived and what it was explained. There is no connection at all. That's what I try to explain what I found. So summary traits, that's what I was trying to highlight. Traits, I use the term traits as well. Highly acceptable psychosocial personalities. Everybody has a mix of mix of the things on hand. Let's say example, positive things, negative things. People have demure, arrogant, humble, proud, selfish, egoistic, choky, down to earth, selfish, beneficent, charitable. Lots of things, lots of characters and traits are in one, in a palm of one person. It means each individual may have varieties of social traits, the acceptable psycho personalities, social personalities, and unacceptable psychosocial personality as well. That's why we need a correcting mechanism within that. Sigmund Freud explained, still it is famous because he explained about ID, ego, and superego. There was always the conflict between the ID and superego, and ego was there, which actually always try to balance that ID and superego and make the people perfect. So it means it is impossible to have only the positive thoughts in a person. There may be some negative thoughts as well. So what we give, what we express is positive. When we try to spread all those positive aspects, then that makes you happy, that makes you healthy, and that makes other people healthy as well. That's the practice of how we explain our goodness, good thing to other people. You can see the picture is very crystal clear. And what would you like to spread? Of course, we like to spread positivity, positive aspects, humbleness, beneficent, charitable, politeness, modest, down to earth, admire, demure, empathy, self-esteem. We like to spread those things because we have those things hidden inside us. Everybody has those like, the humanistic features, the social attitudes. And there may be negative as well, but the negative is when the negative social attitudes are above all those positives, these positive attitudes will be suppressed and may not come out. That's why we need to try to understand and try to take the positive things. And there's nothing to do with the narcissist or narcissistic. This is just a labeling, the characterizing. This is all the human, social, personal, and social attitudes, traits. And we always try to spread the positive things, take the positive things from us. And thus, my opinions, I know I speak a lot. It's a narcissistic personality traits are somehow related to personal characteristic of human attitudes and behavior, which I already explained. I'm just trying to explain those things. Labeling a person as narcissist is not a healthy practice. I know I'm not against science, but if there is no medically proven and someone cannot be characterized as a narcissist by other people, that's not fair as well. That's why I put labeling a person as narcissist is not a healthy practice. An individual may become a victim of others' opinion on them when there is no clear understanding of narcissism. Of course, that's two are related. Narcissistic personality disorder, if only medically proven. I put the equal because if only medically proven, then we can understand or say narcissistic personality disorder. If there is no proven, because there are lots of social, personal and social traits are related. The literature explain about personality, personal and social attributes, social attitudes and attributes as well, and human behavior as well. And there's so many things are mixed up, and we cannot say mix up, which are actually like common features of human being as well. And we cannot actually say the narcissistic personality disorder if there is no medically proven one. Improve your vision other than the pointing the fingers, that's true. And use empathy to help someone you think is something wrong or you think is narcissistic. If someone say and then criticizing, insulting, dominating, spreading rumors against that person. So people who have no empathy, they do it. I know lack of empathy is also the narcissistic person, characterizes a narcissistic person, but let's forget about narcissism at the moment. If you know something wrong, you think, you help them instead of criticizing and insulting and gossiping and the spreading blah blah blah. That's what that is the common human nature. That should be a common human nature. And all types of egg hatches, but not in egg-shaped stone. Egg-shaped stone never hatches, but egg will hatch. That's what we believe. We should believe it. And counseling practice, of course, I'm a counselor, so I brought some lines of counseling perspective. We will help to identify the positivity and negativity. That's what I already explained. Only explain the positivity and negativity instead of marking as narcissism. I explain about positivity and a mix of positivity and negativities, and all those positivity drop down from the palm to another, their surrounding and environment. All the positivity are drop down. That's why we help to identify positivity and negativity. We educate to understand narcissism and its aspect and impact as well. If there is a narcissism or social, psychosocial, the aspects, and we'll assist to improve the positivity and support continually. The next slide I do have is fixed mindset and growth mindset. The narcissistic people have been criticized as a fixed mindset as well. I know there are some negative aspects in the fixed mindset, and fixed mindset is not a good thing, but it is also not medically proven. I didn't find anything medically proven that fixed mindset is a narcissistic person. But fixed mindset, of course, when we compare between fixed mindset and growth mindset is preferable. It is useful. It is good to have that fixed mindset. Fixed mindset may bring the conflict because their mind is already fixed, and then they speak whatever they are in their mind, then the reality. That's why growth mindset is very good and useful than fixed mindset. But I'm still not so narcissistic is a fixed mindset people. I'm at the end of my slides. So psychoanalytical narcissistic personality attributes. You can see the pictures. It's good housekeeping. From website of the housekeeping. I know it is not the the scientific website, but I pick up that pictures because it was listed as a narcissist persons stepping over the others. So what I try to say here is when we talk when we think about the American industrial revolutions, and they talk that American society was fully narcissistic. There was an epidemic of narcissism. The literature I already brought that one. And the narcissistic person is related, the characteristics are related to failure, the successfuls and those things, and the culturally, economically, socially, all those aspects have been explained. That's why I brought these pictures here, because no matter what, the color you have, egg is always broken. The egg is always broken, no matter what is color. So let's not try to step over others. The time comes, it breaks. That's what I try to say is. And of course, it is not acceptable to step over the other, or not acceptable. Is it acceptable or not? This is the question I put, and of course, it is not to step over, because egg hatches, every egg hatches, but not the egg-shaped stone hatches. Well, I finish my small presentation. I speak a lot, whether you understand or not, but your feedback matters. You can reach at me in my mobile number once again, 0422837072, and other number is 0406039526, and my email is info@jEdu'L.com.au.